surely is it now.
The World Cup is the pinnacle of football. Every 4 years, countries from all around the world show their football cultures and talents to try and achieve world glory. With the world watching, it can turn certain unknowns into superstars, with players becoming global phenomenons overnight. The 2022 edition saw many different stories, but arguably none were more impactful than Morocco, the first African team making it to the semi-finals. This not only encapsulated the vision of the country, it also encapsulated the vision of a continent. And with this historic moment and this historic team, there has to be standout. And while every single player in that team did their job, there was one player that stood out overall, and his name was Sofyan Amrabat. Amrabat was born on the 21st of August 1996 in Heerlen, Netherlands. Sofyan's parents were of Moroccan descent, and he was the younger brother of Noorden Amrabat, who eventually ended up playing for PSV and Watford. Their father Mohammed was not in a position to give his sons a rich upbringing, but encouraged them to play football to keep them busy. With Noorden being 9 years older than Sofyan, he was in charge of his younger brother and helped him get into football as he was already playing. The brothers grew up in the village of Huzan, being immersed in Dutch football culture. Sofyan also grew up idolising his older brother, and at the age of 8 he followed in his older brother's footsteps, joining local team HSV de Zuglades. With his brother being much older, he joined professional club VVV around the same time, so there was expectation that his younger brother Sofyan could be very good as well. While impressing at his local team, Sofyan went on a trial in 2006 with professional club Utrecht and impressed very well, signing a professional deal at the age of just 11. This is the start of the journey for Sofyan, with him spending 7 years in the academy and graduating at 17, with his brother Noorden being there for his graduation day. This led to him making his pro debut for Utrecht alongside players such as Sebastian Haller. From the beginning, it was clear to see Sofyan's qualities, bringing a physical toughness in centre defensive midfield while also showing tactical awareness. After 2 years of getting small game time at Utrecht, Sofyan started to play more and more, and in his third season he played 38 games in the 2016-17 season. This was a breakthrough year for the player, and with his great performances, big teams in Holland were in for him, which led to Dutch giants Feyenoord signing him for €4 million. This signing also made Amrabat more well known around Holland, which caused him to be scouted by the Holland national team while also being scouted by the Morocco national team at the same time. Now, Sofyan had played for Netherlands' under-15 team and Morocco's under-17s, so it would have been up to him who he picked. At first, Amrabat rejected Netherlands as he wanted to play in his brother's footsteps for Morocco, but Netherlands manager at the time, Dick Advocaat, really wanted him and had a private meeting which he told him he is guaranteed a position in the World Cup if he would come and play for the Netherlands national team. However, the Netherlands didn't qualify for the tournament, so Sofyan ended up helping Morocco qualify and playing in the tournament, coming on for his brother against Iran. Back at Feyenoord, Sofyan struggled to fixate himself into the starting lineup, and in his first season did not start many games. So after he returned from the World Cup, he informed coach Giovanni van Bronckhorst that he wanted to leave, despite only joining a year ago. His time at Feyenoord wasn't a complete disaster, as he did win 1 KNVB Cup and 2 Johan Cruyff Shields with the Dutch side. He would find his next experience with Belgium side Club Brugge, who was seen as a stepping stone for him to join a large European side in the future. At Club Brugge, Amrabat played with Danjuma, Del Calcaterre, Openda and Emmanuel Dennis in just his first season. However, he was not seen as important as some of these other players and was therefore moved to Serie A side Hellas Verona on loan going into his second season. Although Hellas Verona weren't an overly competitive side, Amrabat liked this because he was able to join a top 5 league and attract more interest from bigger clubs. In the 2019-2020 season, Amrabat played nearly every game for Hellas Verona, helping them to get to a respectable 9th in the season. While having good performances individually, this helped him get picked up by another team in the Serie A, that being Fiorentina, who was a big upgrade on Hellas Verona. And straight away he was a big part of their new rebuild, as they had just sold a lot of their key players. And since he signed for Fiorentina, he has been a mainstay in their starting lineup, playing nearly almost every single game in his first season, and then in his second season helping the Purples come to 7th in the Serie A, which qualified them for the new UEFA Europa Conference League. The Conference League was started by UEFA to try and get smaller nations and lower teams able to be successful in Europe. Fiorentina were a big traditional Italian side but had gone for a few years of needing a rebuild, so this was a big opportunity for the club to go back to where it belonged, with Amrabat at the helm. And he did have a very respectable start to the season individually, but he had to put the season on hold as he had to join many other players going into the Winter World Cup in Qatar. There was not huge expectations of Morocco going into this tournament, but a lot of people who knew about football knew they had quality around the pitch, with players such as Ashraf Hakimi, Bono and El Nassiri. They were drawn in a group with Croatia, Belgium and Canada. Although this group had the second and third place teams from the last World Cup, it was sort of up in the air of who people thought would progress, but mostly Morocco were not considered for it. But to the disbelief of many people, Morocco stunned the world and beat Belgium and Canada while also getting a draw against Croatia. This put them on 7 points, which meant they won the group. This led Morocco to a round of 16 tie against Spain. This was a rematch from 4 years ago where Spain knocked out Morocco in the group for a 96-minute winner, with Sofyan's older brother Nordam voicing his concerns of the new VAR system at the time. But 4 years on, his brother Nordam had retired from international duty, which meant Sofyan wanted to avenge his brother. However, disappointingly, Sofyan would suffered a bank injury just hours before kickoff. But the team had his back, with Morocco shocking the 2010 World Cup winners and beating them on penalties, with Hakimi having a starring role. However, their story did not finish there, as Morocco became the first African country to reach the semi-finals of the World Cup, after they also beat Portugal in the quarter-finals 1-0. In the end, Morocco could not go any further, and lost to France and a rematch to Croatia to end up 4th in the World Cup. But it was still a respectable and monumental moment for not only the country, but the continent in general. Sofyan played in all the remaining games and was excellent in the Portugal and France game. This gave Sofyan exposure to the world and high European club, but he did not let that distract him from ending the season on a high, and he returned to Fiorentina to have a great campaign and finish just out of the European spots in 8th. He also led his team to the UEFA Europa League Conference final, in which they fell short to Moneybags West Ham, but overall had a brilliant tournament, with Amrabat standing out once again. In a year, Amrabat went from being an unknown gem to a well-known about legend in his country, which has prompted many European teams to inquire about him over the last few months, with it looking like Man United are going to pay over £30 million to bring his services to the club. Only time will tell to see how well he does, but he deserves to be here and will surely excel at the highest level of the game. If you like this video and this sort of content, please like the video and comment what you liked in the description. Also, can you comment what players I should do another video on? So I want to see what your suggestions are. Thank you.